Hello, welcome. Today we'll be going over the new news in regards to Record of Ragnarok Round 12, Kintoki vs Odin, so strap in. Welcome, welcome. How's it going, boys? How are your legends doing? What is poppin'? I believe we should be good. You ruined me. My favorite character died. Who's your favorite character? Let me drop the link in the Discord as always, and then we shall begin. To be fair, the story would have been infinitely better if Okita Tsuji remained dead. That is not a hot take, that is a true take. My hate runs deep. It's not even like a normal death as well, it's like a giga death. They're gone from existence. Rip Kintoki. I haven't done an official poll on the channel community page yet, but I'm imagining it's going to look like a 90% Odin prediction from the fan base. Or maybe not. I'll put draw when I do the poll. I may start the poll tomorrow, or maybe tonight sometime I'll do the poll on the channel. I just did one for the Bucky stuff a few hours ago. But I'm guessing it's going to be like, let's say this, 85% Odin win, then the rest will be between Kintoki and the draw option. Unless the draw mad lads are going to be on the rise, that is also possible. I just can't imagine Odin trusting Anubis to win. Yeah. There is a theory around Anubis that I recorded a segment for in an upcoming video, but that won't be out for a few days. But should be able to read the main thing that's on the screen. How do you know this file is 100% confirmed? I'll be going over that in like a few minutes. Just wait for the stream to load up properly for everyone. Because for some reason, YouTube doesn't send out notifications all at once when it comes to streams. It takes like, I believe, up to 30 minutes, but I normally just give it up to 10 minutes before I go into the main content. My biggest worry is predicting Odin wins for the fight to be the draw. That I've said like 100 million times. Now that will be the ultimate brow moment. The moment of moments. I've been literally yapping about the draw in Ragnarok since Hades versus Wang started. I think that's when I first started mentioning it in videos. Yeah, it seems more and more likely that post tournament stuff will be occurring. Rasputin versus Anubis draw, Nostradamus versus Possessed Siegfried round 14. I mean, that could be wild. That could be a way that it works out decently well. Like give Odin the win in this match, and then do some weird primordial god magic stuff with Siegfried. That could be a very interesting way they do it. I don't think many people will be too mad about that as well. We've had the Siegfried stuff, or his name was dropped in chapter 65 the first time, so I've had that in the background for a long time. And as a way for Odin to truly get back at Brunhilde, they'll do it. So people really want the gods to win? No. I think it would be big balls from the authors though if they did that. And technically speaking, if they want to have the gods win the official tournament, and then Odin's plan is complete, and then we literally have to have the gods fight Odin in the primordials, and perhaps the surviving humans will help the remaining gods or something like that. That could be something they do. Do you think that the authors hate Anubis, Ra, and the other Egyptian deities? I think it's possible, and I'm not gonna lie, that is a video I have started recording. It's not solely on that point, but that's addressed throughout. So that will be the next main channel Ragnarok video. It's about Anubis and the Egyptian gods, pretty much. I recorded like 60% right before I started this stream. Then I saw the news, which I'll go over in 2 minutes. I think it's going to be cool because Odin has his iconic divine weapon we've seen him summon in the Buddha Clash, and then he has his primordial god sword, and then the ruins or like remains of the other Yggdrasil weapons within his body as well. So bro can likely pull out some wild shit. That's why I believe Kintoki having a Valkyrie may be required, even if he does have a divine weapon already. It's like, you're up against Odin, bro. It's gonna have all this shit going for him. You can't not have a Valkyrie. Yeah, the hate aspect, I wouldn't say is like absolute to a degree. It's like you could say they hate the Greek gods because they made more Greek gods than not die throughout the series or get defeated. Or even Greek characters in general. You could argue that more so. Do you think Set from the Egyptian platform will be good in Record of Ragnarok God's roster? I don't know much about Set in Egyptian mythology. I mean, the most popular two are definitely Ra and Anubis. And those are the two in the Ragnarok universe we have seen. I think the Mystery Valkyrie will be for Kintoki, then Brunhilde will roll in with Rasputin and Goal with Nostradamus. Yeah, that's a easy way it could go. Goal kind of has that set up with Nostradamus already, due to like their subtle interactions with one another. It's very similar to some other Valkyrie interactions we've gotten. And then the whole Siegfried stuff about Goal being the final piece, which likely has to do with her Valkyrie ability. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes now. We shall begin the... It should be on screen already. Didn't I put it up on screen? Yeah. I'll make it bigger. So this is from one of the main leakers. It pretty much outlines the Record of Ragnarok Volume 26 summary. So pretty much on the back of the volume to have a summary of what the volume pretty much features. So it goes over how this volume includes the climax of the Round 11 Simo and Loki fight, and then also outright claims that the next match is decided Odin scheming to revive the primordial gods versus Kintoki, ally of Buddha. The fateful round 12, or the fateful 12th round, the truth hidden within this divine realm will be revealed. So this is at the back of the next releasing volume that's coming out, pretty much 100% confirming that Odin and Kintoki are fighting. They wouldn't include it on there if it wasn't the case, pretty much. So yes, people can have their theories about this round being a fake out. Maybe Anubis is going to cuck Odin somehow, or maybe some wild stuff with Rasputin or something is going to occur, but it seems very unlikely. I'd say based on the previous chapter, it was like 80% confirmed, maybe 85% confirmed that Kintoki will be fighting Odin based on, the recent chapter. But now with this, it's pretty much like 99. I mean, that's by that leaker, and then the other one we've been relying on the past few months posted the exact same thing. And they posted the Japanese as well. I'll pull up a screenshot of that. I mean, it's like people didn't believe the stuff about Kintoki and Odin due to it coming out earlier, but they weren't wrong about that. If we were talking around a year ago when the main leakers were all the Spanish community, I would agree and be like, just don't trust them because they've been lying about shit for years. But the new ones that were being relying on the past few months have been mostly accurate, or I'd say majority of stuff has been accurate. It could be the case. It's not still 100%, even though I claimed that in the thumbnail and title. It's like 99%. So I think people need to accept it. But that's pretty much the Japanese. Because there was already made a video on this, but there was information about the volume release. Like even before the recent chapters and the end of round 11. Where it pretty much confirmed that round 11 would be ending in volume 26, but we just didn't know it was going to end in the very next chapter. So the next volume is going to feature the end of Loki vs. Simo and the introduction of Kintoki and Odin as the round 12 fighters. Which does highlight they're like, the second the chapters are available, they're like ready to release the physical volume in Japan. And I believe for the English Viz release, they're at the end of the Buddha fight now. So the English physical release is pretty much caught up to the anime now as well. So they're definitely releasing those decently fast. This fight will simply be a Buddha upscale and Kintoki being a beast. But with all that said, everyone's predicting Odin's going to win. Did the league say anything about Rasputin making an appearance? Apart from that little panel we got at the start of chapter 106, nothing. So it seems like we're going to be waiting another few months before that official Rasputin full design reveal. That's why my reasoning has changed. Nostradamus is a femboy, so he was never going to fight Odin. It was always going to be a Chad like Kintoki. What do you think about my theory? Where was your message? I think Odin wins high difficulty. Kintoki will be Adam tier. Their next fight is a draw. Maybe Hilda dies and Goal wins, then puts them at a 8-8. Siegfried is the final fighter against someone else. Like, as in Siegfried is the final fighter for humanity? Meaning Nostradamus or Rasputin don't fight? Is that what you're saying? I hope not. I wonder what... Like, we know Buddha's going to be closely watching this Kintoki fight and likely be a main commentator. I wonder what Beelzebub's doing now, behind the scenes. Because he was on that, like, wanted poster alongside Kintoki and Buddha for, like, not letting them in Tartarus. So Beelzebub could be doing some wild stuff again. Oh, you mean Rasputin draws? And then Nostradamus fights Siegfried, is what you're saying? No, you forgot about Nostradamus, yeah. That's the issue we are facing. Like, it seems as though Siegfried may fight for humanity somehow, some way, but then we already have too many human fighters based on the remaining gods. And, like, I think I speak for most people in saying that we want Rasputin and Nostradamus to have a full round dedicated to them. Like, them not getting a chance at all would probably be disappointing. The many issues. I'll probably do a stream later in the week or maybe tomorrow ranking the fights since round 11 is 100% over now and the Indra and Suzaku fight is also over. So I have to update my fight ranking for everything. Right. The recent Bucky chapter, I don't know what happened to people. Like, I'm the resident Jack fan, been glazing him for years, but I feel like some fans has become too unhinged. And like, while most people can understand that what that dude was saying was like severe weirdo nature, there were people agreeing with him. Even comments in like the new video of me going over it. Truly unhinged. And I'll show you guys this. I posted it on my Twitter page. You should be able to see, I believe. Yeah. So this is on the recent Bucky video, where I went over that guy's like racism, wild stuff, where he wants the Bucky author to die. But this guy in the comments like, this was a trash chapter. Switching to Ragnarok, you can cry at Mysterious Weeb. So be careful, boys. We got a wild Bucky fan coming to the Ragnarok fandom. I've never heard of this ROR thing before, but be careful. This guy's coming. And potentially 4 others. Even though this guy makes ults to like his own comments, I've noticed, but you know, it'd be like that. I mean, if we have a fight even close to the greatness of Might Guy versus Madara, they'll be sick. Welcome, Ghoul. I mean, the thing is, what evidence do we have for why Rasputin would betray humanity? Objectively, 0. So, don't really know what to say. I mean, people calling him the protagonist of Apocalypse will just be like 100% the argument by that point. It is going to be the true deciding point of that manga. Kintoki is going to be stronger than Adam, or at least equal. I mean, I'm imagining he's not going to have an insanely broken ability like the Eyes of the Lord, so it's probably going to be hard to argue. But him being strong, I think, is a guarantee at this point. Like I said, it was all bait. Anubis was, I mean, Rasputin was never on the roster to begin with. It was a mistranslation. Yeah, I'm excited for Morrigan's fight. Should be starting in next month's chapter, or at least the walkouts. Some backstory about both of them, I'm imagining as well. We could get like a cutaway, maybe see what Bilal's doing or something like that. But I've already seen a lot of fan art going around of Morrigan, so I think this fight's gonna definitely have more people interested. There was a little bit of a decline I noticed in people's care for Apocalypse during the Indra and Suzaku fight, but I think Morrigan will bring that back. Yeah, it doesn't seem likely that Nostradamus will be betraying the gods in any sense. I mean, it seems like the ultimate bait is let's rely on Kintoki. He can do it. Yes, you should read it. Yeah, I can pull up the Apocalypse panel. So the lineup for the Apocalypse is right here. Let me make it smaller so you can actually read it. So Indra just won that fight. So Nezha versus Morrigan is next on this side of the bracket. Then Mazda versus this dude, don't know. Then we have King Enma versus Literal Death. We haven't had this dude revealed. We haven't had Death revealed. We've had Below revealed. We haven't had these three revealed yet. Definitely more excited for the right side of the bracket at this point. So my current predictions is Morrigan win, Mazda win, Def win, Below, and probably Hydra. Then let's say Wukong wins the round 2 fight. Then I'm guessing Morrigan versus Indra is my prediction. Maybe Morrigan, so we get that Celtic God rematch before the final. But maybe not then, because Wukong I hope wins, but yeah. Yeah, catching up's worth it. Don't see why not. I think it has 15 chapters now. I mean, based on Wukong's betrayal so far, I think he clapped Sheba. I think that's fair to say. Hey, Bektas Sanel. Thanks for the 2, mate. Is there a legitimate main character in Apocalypse of the Gods? That's kind of weird. So officially, we're not told that there's a protagonist. Like you'd say, when it comes to Record of Ragnarok, you'll say Brunhilde's the protagonist, but she isn't a fighter, so that's fine. In Apocalypse, people think it's the Kukulin dude because he defeated Ra. He's at the front of all the promotional material, and even the artist has posted like extra stuff about him, so leading people to think he's the protagonist. And then even during the Prometheus setup, we saw more of him, and we've cut back to him a few times, alongside him being a demigod as well. So people just are assuming, but official confirmation there's not. And I think it'll be best if it stays that way, that there isn't a protagonist, because that just ruins the whole like vibe. It's having a bias. I guess most people are going to wait for his Wukong fight in round 2 to definitively say. It's like how if you guys read Tenkaichi, which you definitely should, but the way the authors do it for that, even though people at first believed Masashi was the protagonist, they've confirmed in extra stuff at the back of the chapters that there's no protagonist, and they decide who wins each of the fights as they're writing them. Meaning once they start a fight, they don't even know who's going to win, because there's, I believe, 2 authors and an artist. So there's 3 people that like discuss when they're writing the new chapters, and I don't even know who's going to win until like, okay, this month we'll finish the fight, and then they decide who's going to win. So there's like literal no bias in a sense. At least that's what you would hope it would be like. I don't like. You would think Brunhilde would have some insight about Odin's abilities, but how'd she get the chance to find out such information? Saying that he would beat Adam, I mean, 0 thoughts. Because they are wrong. Delusional. Adam simply blitzes one-shots. But we are only a few months away from season 3 of the anime, coming out in December. We don't have a specific release date yet, like what day within September, but I'm hoping it's early. I think that would be cool. When would we get season 4 of Ragnarok? Well, if you look at the manga content, season 3 will end with either the Odin flashback stuff, or not flashback, the Odin like confrontation with Buddha, or the introduction of the round 10 fighters, Susanoo and Okita. So we have round 10 done, we have round 11 done, and we have round 12 starting now. Let's say round 12 goes for... Honestly, it could be a long one considering it is Odin fighting. Let's say 9-10 months worth of chapters. It could even be a year for all we know, because it could be the longest fight in the series considering it is very well Odin, and we're probably going to get many flashbacks and stuff like that. So this time next year, potentially, we could have the end of Kintoki and Odin, and at that point we could be thinking about season 4. So probably maybe 2027. Oh yeah, every 2 years for it to work, because they're kind of close to the mangas now. And since we do have for the most part, 1 chapter a month, the occasional double chapter like we got this month, but for the most part, 1 chapter a month, the fights typically go for, I think the average is 8 months now. Some much longer, some shorter. I think they'll finish the main Ragnarok series before Apocalypse gets an anime. I think that's better to do. I'll search up the channel name. I've not heard of that dude. So TikTok? I also have a TikTok, boys. You should follow. It's called Mysterious Weeb. I post mostly the shorts I upload on the channel on there. Is this person like a real person, or he just makes edits? His stuff isn't in English for me. Don't know if I can understand. How you can catch up? If you join the Discord, there'll be links. For you to read both of them. I think we could have like two years left of Ragnarok. Maybe 3 if they do end up having like a round 14 type situation. I think 3 years is possible. If they do like the post Ragnarok tournament war type thing, it could go on for even longer. Let me look how many chapters. I think based on chapter count, it's equal in the shortest, I believe. My PC is freezing. Let's fix this. Alright, so round 1 was 7 chapters. Round 2 was 7 as well. Round 3 was 8. Round 4 was 11. So Jack the Ripper vs. Hercules was pretty much a year's worth of chapters. Round 5 was 12. So Shiva vs. Raiden was even longer than round 4 based on chapters. I think that is because we had the cutaway to the Buddha situation in between. Round 6 is 12. Makes sense because we had both Zero Fuku and Hajun stuff to get through. Round 7 is 11. Round 8 is also 12. I did not remember Beelzebub vs. Tesla being that many chapters. I guess so. Round 9 was 7. Round 10 was 12, and that was due to the Odin and other stuff cutaways, and round 11 was 9. So it's not even the shortest. Or close to the shortest. But they count from chapter 98 though. So yeah, it's not even the shortest. I thought it was 7 chapters as well. But I guess round 1, round 2, and round 9 are the shortest. I do feel like Apollo vs. Leonidas was the shortest to me when I was reading it. Will we get a full fight of Saw and Galang? Probably not a full fight. Maybe a few more panels, but I think we're going to cut away. It seems likely we're going to just see updates from all the characters participating in the main tournament. And you can see a comparison of like chapters dedicated to the fights compared to like anime episodes dedicated to the fights. So yeah. I mean, if Sorpang is relative to Koran Galang, you can rank him on a similar tier. But I think Kano's victory over Julius, Lolong, and Galang within the same day in the same tournament does solidify him as like a little bit above still. Like the current peak of the Kengan Association and what am I saying? The current peak of the Kengan Association, not considering any worm, is Oma, Kuroki, Ryan, and Kano. Like they're the top 4. Solidified. And then you have like slightly below you have the Galangs, Jirotas, and like whoever else you want to kind of include. Probably Wakatsuki goes in that group now. Who knows what he's capable of. Stuff like that. Yeah, he has 2 flashbacks as well. He has one where he got his martial art from that demon god. And then he has the flashback when he was a kid and, you know, the best girl, stuff like that. I mean, based on chapter count, it is decently long. There's no cutaways. It's solely focused on the fight. So, yeah, it's going to be a few episodes. 4 or 5 episodes of the new season. What's your most controversial Record of Ragnarok take? Um, what is my most controversial Record of Ragnarok take? I would say my hate for Okita, but I feel as though a good chunk of people agree with me with that. So maybe not. A similar thing with Shiva as well. My takes about him. I think a decent amount of people agree with me as well. So I wouldn't say it's like super controversial. No one agrees. Maybe my hate for Raiden. I rank Raiden and Hercules as like my bottom 3 characters, next to Zero. Like, I honestly prefer Leonidas over Hercules and Raiden. Maybe that's my controversial take. Do you think that the fans would like round 10 more if Susanoo had won? Even if it meant the other rounds would be very predictable. Personally, I don't mind that Susanoo lost. Like, as I said, my issues with the round was Susanoo's character and how his whole thing was this glazing Okita throughout the majority. And the fact that Okita won and had to pretty much sacrifice his inner demon, which pretty much killed him in the first place, but then was saved by that primordial Japanese god as well. So post-fight stuff. Like, if they had given Okita the win, officially, like he had defeated Susanoo, this all-powerful god, but then also had to pay the ultimate price from dying after that, them not being able to save him, I would have been happy. I would have still had my issues, but I would have been fine. Was your take on Shiva? It's not even that bad. I just don't think he's like top tier. I think he's just like middle of the pack when it comes to power ranking. That's pretty much it. I think most people agree with that now. Maybe like a few years ago, that was like more controversial. People thought Shiva was like guaranteed top 5 because it's a chief god, but I think a majority of people have come to realize that he's not really him. And low key, I do think Jack the Ripper beats up Shiva as well. Not gonna lie, but too spicy. In regards to Bucky, we are getting a interview between the creator of Bucky and his daughter, the creator of Beastars, with Netflix for the 10-year anniversary on the, I believe, 5th of September, so in a few days. So hopefully we get some information about Bucky Dale then. That's the perfect situation in place to announce something, so hopefully. Buddha should have lost, TBH. Okay. Bro is speaking to a void. Did Loki underestimate Simo throughout the fight? I wouldn't say so. Bro was deadly serious. He went into the fight with kill intent. So I don't really think so. Like, the worst outcome for me... honestly, I don't have a worse outcome. There was no, like, victor that annoyed me really that much. Like, for defeating Lu Bu was fine. It's expected for, like, the first fight of a manga with this setting. Adam vs. Zeus was shocking, but makes sense. Sasaki being the one to defeat Poseidon after all that was great. Jack the Ripper defeating Hercules was insanely shocking and still my number 1 fight for those very reasons. Shiva defeating Raiden, I guess, is fine. Buddha's dub was wanted and expected. Huang defeating Hades was great, surprising. Beelzebub defeating Tesla was, I guess, shocking, but didn't bother me that much. I've seen some people, or a decent number of people, complain about Tesla losing, but I was fine with it. I've expressed my round 10 issues, but even Okita winning isn't my main issue. It's just pretty much how and what they did after. So yeah, I don't really have a major problem with any round's outcome. There's certain choices within the fights I have issues with, but the conclusions, winners and losers, I'm pretty fine with. And even this one, even though it seems like Odin's going to win, if Odin was to lose and Kintoki just wins and that I guess be the end of the tournament, my main issue would be not seeing Rasputin. Okita against Zeus. I don't know, man. I'll be surprised if there's anyone out there who agrees with you, but there might be. If Rasputin loses, I think you'd have a problem. The thing is, though, that's not possible. Top of the verse, losing, facing defeat? Can't see that happening. What would be Rasputin's nickname from Brunhilde? Russia's greatest love machine, hopefully. Yeah, the way Tesla went out is definitely top 3. Most goated. Probably top 1, honestly. Like Adam's defeat was like great, but I think Tesla is like, yep, accepting his defeat and then, expressing how humanity will continue to evolve and that they will survive is his peak. You don't really see any Tesla haters. All the critiques in regards to him is like him not having a mustache. That is the biggest critique around. Maybe when the more like general fans watch the new anime season, we'll get some other wild takes. Hey, if Rasputin is a femboy, even though it doesn't seem like that's the case, based on his subtle reveal in the recent chapter. If they were to make him a femboy though, then I would make the hate video. I just don't really care about sumo. I feel like that's my main issue. Which god had the best death? I mean, Poseidon's death was satisfying, but the best? Can't really say so. Hercules is up there. Him actually hugging Jack was like a peak moment. It was like a bait where he was going for that punch, but it wasn't. Hades' death saying he's sorry, I guess is fine. Susnor's is okay, not the best. Loki's expressing his love to Brunhilde, I guess is okay. Probably Hercules, honestly. I think I agree with that. But most satisfying was Poseidon, though. That's for sure. In like much respect to him, he was already chopped up and still grabs like the remains of his weapon to go for one final attack, like locking in even more. Is like peak. I think I had the panel. I was looking at it earlier because I was looking for something for my Anubis video. But I literally just looked at the final of that fight before. Where is it? Start of Jack, which means it must be here. Yeah, he was like sliced up, like grabs it in his mouth as well. And when he was first sliced up, he just like puts it in his other hand, goes for it, like bro was on demon time. Then lost the other hand, he's like, okay, let's do this. And then after everything was done, he was sliced up. Rasputin has 100% lose rate. Don't know about that one. What color design for Odin do you like more? I'll say the silver hair. The current or canon design now. Considering the anime just got it wrong giving him black hair. I do wonder if they're going to update that in the new season. Because if you look on... where is it? Where's Odin? If you go on images on the wiki, you see like the anime stuff. But the first time we saw Odin with the silver hair, like a canon color scheme of him in the manga, was when we got this cover page for the magazine where Ragnarok releases, and then this back of volume 24. So it's only recently, like we're up to volume 26, or we're getting 26 released soon. But in anime, as we see, they use the black hair. I mean, I guess he had black hair in his younger years, to be fair. But you could say, based on like the early stuff, he didn't have black hair. All the original animators knew was how to destroy round two. They were experts at that. I mean, like, I am a big round 5 Shiva vs. Raiden hater. But would it be my worst fight? It might actually be still. Not considering Apocalypse, of course. This out of the main series, I think I may rank that at the bottom. I said I may do a stream tomorrow, just going over the fight rankings again. I think the bottom 3 in the main series right now for me is 4 vs. Lubu, Apollo vs. Leonidas, and Raiden vs. Shiva. For me. Because I count Zero vs. Buddha and Hajun vs. Buddha as like one big fight. They're not separated. But it seems like, based on the season 3 trailer we got the other day, that they're adding more scenes to the Leonidas and Apollo one. So, hopefully they make some stuff better. Bottom 3 would be Buddha, Adam, and then Tesla. Bro's definitely in a void. Like, let's look at the overall fan base and have the opposite take from the most common. I mean, it's fine if you truly believe it, but it just looks like you're trying to be different. Yeah, out of everything, they're like, let's make the final clashes and wild moment between Zeus and Adam a PowerPoint. I'm sure that would be a good idea. Hey, thanks for the two again, mate. What is your take on revolumed like in round 9 and 7? What is my take? Let me pull up a Wang. Technically, we got a revolumed in round 3 as well. I guess. Does that count? Sasaki. That was more like the real volume. But I think revoluming. Oh, I'll put you on screen first before I answer. Thanks for the two, though. Much appreciated, mate. Alright, where is the Okita? Not Okita. The Huang revolumed. So, as a whole, I think it's fine for the most part. If we look exactly what happened, so prior to the revolumed, his armor was destroyed, and like one of his arms destroyed for the most part. And then we had the revolumed in conjunction with the sword path of his martial arts still remaining, which he used in combination with his other abilities to defeat Hades. I think it's fine for the most part, considering what was already set up for his Valkyrie prior, like the defense stuff and then the best defense is offense. I think that's cool. And then the Leonidas stuff, I didn't really like his volume at the start, but then when it entered that Truth Shield, it was hype. So it kind of saved that round for me, to a degree. I feel like the final chapter, the conclusion of round 9, was by far the best chapter in that fight. So I'll say the revolutions have been good. You could say they're a bit... Oh, you mean that all the Valkyries have that ability? I don't think all of them. I think only the ones we've seen so far, more so. Because some other Valkyrie abilities is like very specific in a sense. Like what Raiden's one was and the purpose of it. What Simo's one was. Like some just really don't have a means for something like that. I do wish we get like more explained about the Valkyrie abilities. Like we've had it loosely explained at the start and from time to time, but the like actual enhancements and other aspects they provide to the humans, I think would be better explored in like bonus chapter content or something. If it works well with the humans' overall abilities and fighting style, I don't see why not. But then we have Valkyries like Adam's one, which was just the knuckle dusters, which pretty much was nothing. It's a waste of a Valkyrie in that round for the most part. And then we had Teslas, which pretty much just allowed him to use the entire mech suit that bro made, which is crazy. I mean, you can mention the stuff from the Norse mythology, but it doesn't mean it properly correlates to Record of Ragnarok. Same thing with any god or character from history and mythology in the series. You can get some insight, but I wouldn't use it to apply at all. Yeah, Adam was clearly damaging Zeus with his other arm. So it's like in a sense that like the Valkyries do technically in theory give you the ability to harm the gods, but it's more so if you have a Valkyrie with you attached to your body, your soul, whatever, you're able to harm the gods with whatever you do. It seems like that's more so the case. A merch idea I was gonna make. This was gonna be my backup plan if Rasputin was a femboy. I was gonna make a Giga Chad Rasputin fan art and make that as merch. As my response video. But seems like bro has a beard. So that's good. I think you Wayne claps Lubu. Why are they still hiding Rasputin's design? Because he has too much aura. We can't handle it. Who is my favorite Valkyrie though? Maybe Fudd. Whatever her name is for Raiden. But my favorite way a Valkyrie ability was used was definitely the Jack versus Hercules fight. I mean, Brynhilde doesn't count because she's like the protagonist. Valkyries that have participated in fights so far. Like Lubu's one was like okay, but more so nothing. Adam's one was nothing. Sasaki's one was good. It's up there. I think top 3. Jack's, I don't really like the character, but the ability was sick. Fudd was goated, Buddha didn't have one. Tesla's was cool, but we didn't really get anything from her. Leonidas, we didn't get anything for a long time, but the moments we did get was pretty sick. And then Okita and Simo's were kinda okay. But again, we didn't really get much. Okita's one was solid. Prediction on Kintoki's fighting style and abilities. Well, we know he's going to use the axe. I think some people have mentioned in mythology he has like a berserker type state. I think that would be cool. It does seem like they're probably going to go down that path. But I do hope he does have a Valkyrie and it does give him some other unique ability. Because it seems very likely that Odin's going to have a wild amount of stuff going for him. Jack Ripper kind of reminds me of Gin from Bleach. Kinda, I guess. One of the goats from Bleach for me personally. Underrated characters that didn't do much, but what he did was quite goated. Yeah, that was a fun video to make. Unfortunately, it didn't do that well compared to like the average Record of Ragnarok video. But the one he's talking about is this one. The Record of Ragnarok world is kinda complicated. So the reason I made this video is I hadn't made because we just had the end of round 11 revealed and all that crazy stuff I had to go over. And I hadn't made a video on the new Apocalypse of the Gods chapter yet. And the previous one last month didn't really have that much. We had the flashback little moment in some of the fight. And the flashback provided more insight about the Chinese Pantheon more so. So I'm like, oh yeah, Might as well make my like Record of Ragnarok universe explained type video, breaking down Valhalla, Earth, Underworld, and all the other realms which are likely existing. So pretty much read Apocalypse of the Gods. It is providing much more world building. And there's likely more to come once we finally get Anubis' fight. And all the other demonic like creatures in Apocalypse. But yeah, I uploaded my Nostradamus video yesterday or 2 days ago now, I think, pretty much. And I am working on a Anubis one that I mentioned earlier in the stream. But full predictions on round 12 is expressed in this video. Yeah, the more normal bracket where like characters have to deal with multiple fights is more appealing to me. Like we had the first rounds and then we have like the winners. We see their abilities, understanding about their character. So when they have their next fight, they can just expand on that and enhance more aspects. That's why generic tournaments are more entertaining in a sense. You get more from the characters. But Record of Ragnarok's approach is unique in that sense. And considering the scale and length of most of the fights, we do get enough for the characters. Yeah, for it to be the longest fight based on chapter count, it would have to hit 13 chapters. Which is over a year worth of chapters. But let's say throughout there's like double chapters for 2 months. So that makes up 4 chapters. So again, like around a year worth of content. Which is a long time, if you think about it. Some withering like ability could be the case. Like I said, Odin's going to have so much stuff going for him. He has these 2 divine weapons we've seen, the primordial gods weapons within his body, the weird withering away destruction chaos stuff he's done. Yeah, I believe that's just the Chinese name of Sun Wukong or something like that. And Suzaku's like the second name or first name, however you want to say it. I just say Suzaku because it's easier. But yeah, boys, thanks for stopping by on the stream. There will be a Anubis video tomorrow, maybe. If I won't be able to get it done, I'll do the stream tomorrow, ranking the Record of Ragnarok rounds 1 to 11, and then the 3 Apocalypse ones as well on the list. But they're likely going to go at the bottom for obvious reasons. Who do you think would have been Zeus' opponent? I think it could have been Nostradamus. I actually have a video on that I released a few years ago. But that could have been the case. But yeah, stay tuned for the Anubis video. Check out the other videos uploaded on the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, have a good day, night, whatever you're up to.